So good afternoon again, and so me again, and thanks to Andrew's, comprehensive introduction. Because Com was asking whether I could speak, first, because Andrew's actually covered both two sessions, but I was only covering for the market regulation. But I was thinking because of China still a starting market, an emerging market for the ETS, it's not like fully functioned for all the financial product, for all the participants, like financial institutions can be participating in ETS. So I think for introducing the EU would be more benefits for you get the deeper understanding of all the design elements and the features that could be introduced in the market. So then I think I could help to complement a little bit what is the facts in China. And also when I was listening, Andrew's sharing, I was thinking there's a little more for bringing in my mind that I can also comparing what is China is doing. So then I could not following all the PPT here and trying to brief as much possible because timing is limited. But I think you guys are already got the PPT. So if you, that's all the facts in China system. And if you have questions, I'm happy to discuss later. So this is for the original, not original, but after 2021, 2022, China announced the climate goal. And meanwhile, under the development of China ETS, the China has starting to identify the role of the China ETS and also to see the relationship in between the compliance market, the voluntary market, and also the climate goal, which is, I believe, Thai ETS is under considering. But in China, it's like China has already been announced peak by 2030. So the China carbon market will eventually to see the relationship for the market can contribute towards its NDC in the future, which is means towards the peaking or towards the carbon neutrality. But this is definitely related to the allowance allocation, not definitely strictly with the market regulation itself. And we can see a little bit on the market status. We can see as of this year, the price, the highest price in China ETS for the compliance market, it will reach 100 RMB, which is $13 US. But for this year around, for now, this month, the price is roughly about 80 RMB, which is 11 US. It's down a little bit, and you can see from the beginning of the price of the ETS is much more stable. This is because the futures in China ETS for now is only spot trading, like I said in the morning. And for the participants in the market, it's only the key emitting entities, which is the companies are subject to the compliance obligation, are be allowed trading in the market. So there's no financial products, no the options, futures, and also there's no financial institute can be traded in the market. So it's for emission reductions. And you can see the revenue generated is a relatively small amount for comparing with EU, because EU has already been operated its ETS since 2005. China just since 2021, it's been 5 years. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. Okay, so this is the system architecture for the China national ETS. You can see from different layer of the measurements from the top central government to provincial level to the municipal level, they have a different role for managing the ETS, and also from the different function of or design elements of the ETS, from the MRV, from the allowance allocation, or from the trading and regulation system. So they have their different responsibilities and different system design. So I won't touch all of them, but more it's definitely the data is the fundamental of the ETS design and implementation and operation. So that's really important to monitoring it itself. So actually, China established the data platform for gathering all the data collected from all the enterprises and centralized. And also for now, China also requiring the monthly safe data archive, which is utilizing electronic or like electronic or the intelligent technologies for saving the data, which is want to retrieve the data and want to ensure the data quality and avoid the manipulation of the or falsification of the data. And regarding the allowance allocation, China definitely has the registry system for disseminate or allocate the allowances. But now it's all of the allowances in China national ETS are free allocated. It's not auctioned. And what we would like to touch more is the trade regulation under the system. So there's definitely the price and risk management. Definitely China has the trading regulations and also the registry regulations accordingly to managing the trading and the registration. But regarding the trading, it also managed by the trading regulation. We will touch more details here. Definitely, this is the three platform I just mentioned. There's another function for the platform here is like for the information disclosure, which is like publishing all the regulations and also the key emitting entities, which they have the compliance obligation. They will be published their annual compliance status, whether they comply with the ETS or not. It will publish here. So it's like I said, in the morning, if in the simulation system, if you're not compliant with it, or if you play it, I can disclose whatever your company is doing. In the China system, it has the function like publishing it, but it's not like a fully saying what you're doing or the details of allowances are surrendered to the government. The number is not showing in the system. It only tells the publics like whether this companies comply with the compliance market or the national ETS or not. And here touching the detailed design of the market regulation. In China, the market participants, like I said, it's only the key emitting entities. There's no financial institutions, but definitely it's listed in the management decree, which is the highest level regulation for managing the China national ETS. It says eventually it can including more financial institutions or more participants in the market. But for now, it's not yet included. And the trading products is only for the carbon emission allowances, which is the spot market, the spot products. There's no future or any financial products in the near future. And before actually, when I'm preparing the PPT, I double checked with the current regulation in China. There's no mentioning about options, futurings in both the highest level regulation and also the last year published by the State Council and also the Center Office of the Party. They didn't say anything about the future or the financial products. So I think this is still a little bit longer way to go for introducing more products for liquidifying the markets. But I think involving more participants, that would be possible in the near future. And also trying to use some like hedging or other financial approach, I think that would be possible in the near future. And regarding the trading, the trading methods, like there's a different, other than the spot trading, the trading method would be like list agreement trading, block agreement bidding. So this is like limited and required by the amount of the threshold. And you can see, I will touch that later later on the slides. But this is like how the market is working. And I think this is also comparing to what Andreas was saying about the EU cases. He was saying if the participants want to participate in the EU market, you have to be a member of the exchange. But in China, definitely this is not the case. In China, the exchange, the compliance market exchange and the registry is managing by the government, and which is the exchange and the registry are sponsoring and managing by the central government, which is like the exchange and the registry, they are not allowing to pursuing revenue generation. That's not their priority. Their priority is trying to help a sound operation of the ETS. And also, regarding to the question from the exchange stock exchange this morning, like in China, the exchange and also the registry, they really don't have the responsibility for earn money. So itself, they cannot charging any fees for the transactions. For the service, they are helping on the national compliance market. So all of that are like paid by the central government to them, or at least for now, it's like absorbing internally by the system itself. It's not like a generating revenue for now. And also for the participants want to trading like the key meeting entities, they do not need necessarily to register as a member to the exchange. They just need to be open account in the exchange, and then and also open account in the registry. Then they can trading and do relevantly the activities in the market, because it's like China only got the compliance entity or the key meeting entities are allowed to trading in the market. There's no financial institutions yet. So probably later on, when China's ETS would be able to introduce financial institutions, there will be like playing as EU for requiring like a membership status for that. And the trading unit and the volume is like really similar to EU. And for now, actually, like China ETS actually only covering the previously for the power sector only covering carbon dioxide, but now since it's already been included the aluminum, so it's expanded its coverage for other GHG types, the greenhouse gas type. And also the trading hours is like the stock market in China. It's from the morning to the afternoon, 3 p.m. So it's like the really like a stock market, but the scale is really, really small comparing to the stock market. And then the market regulation. This is all the market regulation or risk management. Risk management approach listed in the management decree or the highest regulation right now. Like in China, we have the price, the China system has a price limitation, which is for the list trading, it's like 10% variance. And also block trading is like 30%. One-way bidding also get a 10% variance. And also it got the position limited, the threshold, which is if you have a so long position, like you own too much of the allowances in your hand, you have to report to the government, because this is like risk control. And also they have this is mentioning in the regulation. And also if like risk reserve fund, also like risk warning mechanism, which is if there's an abnormal tradings or too frequent trading by one entity, so that's all been monitored by the system. But this is all the regulation required. But in the reality is, for now, like I said, it's only participated by the compliance entities or the key meeting entities, which most of them are the state-owned enterprises and large-scale companies, which is because China's ETS threshold are, if the company are emitting more than 26,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year, the company would be subject to required or subject to managed by the national carbon market. But if lower than that, it doesn't need to be managed by the carbon market. So because of that threshold, most of the companies are large scale, and also in China, most of the large scale companies, especially like power sector, like iron and steel, are more like for the state-owned companies. So they are easily to manage, and they don't have such risk for manipulate the market. So for now, most of them don't actually implement it or actually have details for running for needed for controlling the risk right now in the Chinese market. And there's some other the market features in China. During the pandemic period from 2021 to 2023, it was allowing borrowing because that all the facility were facing a hard time when they're facing the compliance. But the banking for starting from 2023, which is the compliance cycle for the starting from 2023, the government issued or released the surplus allowances banking restrictions, which is allowing the banking for the allowances, but it's required, has a threshold requirements for each type of the entities. You can see the number here, how to calculate the threshold, but it's not like ultimately you can banking all of your surplus. It's not allowed because they don't want to undermine the price or put too much pressure for the price downwards. And also, I want to touch a little bit on the oversight about the penalty, because like I said, in the system in China right now, it's only the spot and only the key media entities. So there's less risk for manipulate the market, but still there's a lot of risk. So in addition to like the disclosure of the informations and also the regulations in place, but also the penalties is also really important, and also it's already in place in the China market. You can see there is a several layer of or several angles for control the risks by the penalty, either for failure to fulfill the compliance, which is targeting the key meeting entities if they cannot fulfill their compliance obligation, which is like this morning's simulation. And also there is a data fraudulation or falsified data in the system. There's also another type of the penalty. And also regarding the market manipulation, there's also the 10 times of legal the illegal gains for the illegal players. So there's the penalties in the regulations. But as far as for now, it's like for the actual punishment, I don't think there's too much on the manipulation for the market, but definitely there's some cases for the failure to fulfillment of the compliance. And also with data fraudulation, there was something, but after this, because this management decree was enforced since May 2024, so it's only 2 years. Before that, there was some data fraudulation issues, but after that, there is a fewer data issues because of, like I said, the government are requiring the monthly data archive and using the intelligence technology for controlling the data quality. So it's helping the whole system for improving its risk management and reducing such bad behaviors. So I think that's all for me. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Hong.